Welcome to the Breaks Music Show, episode number 2. Jack Cattell, Eclectic Soup on a Volpe. We're going to be diving into the alt-indie scene and also going to throw some pop music in there as well. It's all coming up here on the Breaks Music Show. Welcome to the Breaks Music Show on, this Saturday. We're recording this with Jack Cattell. He's coming to us all the way from across the pond. Welcome to the show, Jack. How's it going today?
Thanks for having me. I'm really good. It's a lovely sunny day here in England, so very good. How are you?
Doing better now. I was doing some research on some of your music last night, and I got to tell you, you're a young chap, and we were just talking before the break here. How long have you been writing songs, and can you tell us more about your band and your experience and all that?
So I've been writing since I was about 15 years old. I think the first song that I wrote that I'd have been happy to go out and play was around about then. I've been writing since a little bit earlier, but there were very cliche songs, shall we say, trying to court girls at the time and whatnot. But I'm 24 now, so I've been doing it about 9 years and just starting to pave my way in the local scene and the national scene.
Can you tell us more about who all plays in the band and how long have they been together?
So I was a solo artist to start with, and then I got the band in the end of 2018, 2019. So we've got Ali on bass, Josh on drums, and now we've just got a new guitar player in called Anton. He's been with us for around about 6 months now, but I think we've finally nailed the band. We're really happy with it. We all get on really well. Which I think is really important, and also they're brilliant musicians as well, so that it's the perfect mix at the moment.
So you've been writing songs since you were 15 years old. Now, how many albums have you put out?
I put out one album and a few EPs, but the album's been took down. I think the mistake a lot of people make at the age where I was releasing quite a lot of music was you rush it, because you want as much content out there as possible. You want to bombard people with it to get your name out there. And sometimes the quality just lacks a little bit. So we took that down, and me and the band are working on putting out some new records in a few months to come.
We're listening to Jack Cattell. We're talking with him today. Of course, he's coming to us from across the pond, and we're going to play a song from him right now. This is titled Love Me on the Breaks Music Show.
Saw you from across the room, dressed to impress you, danced to your favorite tune. You looked up at me so seductively. I felt this weird sensation taking over my body. Did you feel it too? As the sparks they flew between me and you, contagious. You got me trapped under your spell. Won't you set me free? Come on, love me. You make me feel alive. Come on, love me. I need us to survive. So come on, love me. Don't show me to the door. Come on, love me. Come with me, won't tell more. Spontaneous, I can't help you, cause I will be the oxygen you're gonna need to fuel that fire. Come on, love me. You make me feel alive. Come on, love me. I need us to survive. So come on, love me. Don't show me to the door. Come on, love me. Don't leave me, won't tell more. Don't leave me, won't tell more. Well, everything I do it all for you. And now I'm on my knees, begging please, take my hand, I wanna be your man. I'll treat you like a queen. With everything I do it all for you. And now I'm on my knees, begging please, take my hand, I wanna be your man. I'll treat you like a queen. Come on, love me. You make me feel alive. Come on, love me. I need us to survive. So come on, love me. Don't show me to the door. Come on, love me. Don't leave me wanting more. Come on, love me. Won't you love me, baby? Won't you love me?
It's the Breaks Music Show, and welcome. My name is Ed Steele. Today we're talking with Jack Cattell. He's joining us from across the pond, and we've already heard one song from Jack. We've got a couple more coming up. And Jack, some more questions for you here. So where are some places you've performed at? Where is something you would like to play at? What venue or event?
We get asked this quite a lot, you know, dream venues. I think it's always a really interesting question. For us, I don't think there's necessarily a dream venue. We just want to play anywhere we can get to, anywhere that people can reach us. But I think in terms of venues I've played at, I was lucky enough to play a little gig at the Royal Albert Hall in London, which is absolutely beautiful venue. And I think if there's one place I could go back to play, it would definitely be there.
Now, have you ever been to the United States before or out of the country?
I've never performed outside of the country, outside of the UK. I think it's trying to find contacts to get out to places is quite difficult at the moment, especially with the whole COVID situation that we're all stuck in. But it's something that we want to do. You know, I love travelling for pleasure, so I'd love to travel with a band and get out and see the world a bit.
All right, now the song London Town. What's behind that song?
Very personal song. It's quite unusual for me. I kind of try to detach myself and make them very ambiguous, my songs, so people can relate. But my girlfriend, we've been together for about 4 years now, and she was living at home in the middle of England, and then she got a job down in London. So she's moved down there, and that's kind of where the song idea came from. So she's still living away, and we're making it work. Slightly longer distance than it was before.
She helped you write it?
She didn't know. She didn't know anything about it. It was one of them that I kept quite quiet. It come round quite quickly. So it was on the day that she left to go to London that the song was pretty much finished in the same day, and then finally got the courage to play it to her about a month later, and she loved it.
I'm sure she did. You definitely got great boyfriend points on that, I guarantee it. It's Jack Cattell, and here's the song London Town on the Breaks Music Show.
You're leaving town, out there on your own, to pastures new, to seeds unsown. Don't look back, go down and make us proud. Show them what you've got down in that London town. Sha la 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 la. Don't wait for you. I know it might be hard, but we can make this work. It really ain't that far. I'd rather be nowhere with you than anywhere with anybody else. A minute spent without you feels like a life sentence locked inside a cell. Because it's you, I've known it from the start. It's always been you. You are the better half of me. I know this might sound crazy, but when you're not around, I feel a part of me is missing. Don't know why or how, but I know it's you. Yeah, I know it's you. Put you on the train, blew a kiss goodbye, so wipe the tears away. I promised you I wouldn't cry. And as I drove back home, something didn't feel right. It felt so strange without you right there by my side. I'd rather be nowhere with you than anywhere with anybody else. They could fall from heaven, but without you I'd be locked down in hell. Because it's you, I've known it from the start. It's always been you. You are the better half of me. I know this might sound crazy, but when you're not around, I feel a part of me is missing. Don't know why or how, but I know it's you. Yeah, I know it's you. You're leaving town, you'll be back again. And I will wait for you, 'cause nothing's gonna change.
It's the Breaks Music Show, and we are talking with Jack Cattell, and I tell you what, we're going to have more from him coming up for you here in just a couple of moments. It's the Breaks Music Show. I'm your host, Ed Steele. We're talking with Jack Cattell today, and he's telling us about his new song. And Jack, welcome once again. You have a new song coming up. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we've got a new single coming out. We're really excited for it. It's our first release since London Town back in December, and it's a tune called What I See. It's the first one that I've had a bit of help from the band with in terms of writing it pre-production. Anton had got a really nice guitar lick, which you'll hear at the start of the song, and everything come together from that. So it was quite nice to have some of that pressure lifted off me in terms of writing and to get them involved a little bit more.
And we're going to hear that song coming up for you here in just a couple of moments. That was a little tease to keep them on the edge of their seat. So what's coming up with Jack Cattell? What's going on with you, my friend?
So we've got a few gigs coming up and getting booked in now. In the UK, things are starting to lift slowly, so we can plan a bit better. But we've got a few more singles coming out this year. We might even be doing a Christmas song as an exclusive for you towards the back end of the year. But we're just looking to get back out, get back playing shows and back to what we do best, really.
Well, that's awesome. And, of course, What I See, it is Jack Cattell, brand new for you on the Breaks Music Show.
You know that you intrigue me. Can't put my finger on why. I know that there's more to you than meets the eye. So why you still acting shy? Is it just because you've been hurt before that you build up a wall? Maybe when you just get to know me better, bricks will start to fall. I know your worth, I'll show it to you. you out to all of the places you've always wanted to go. But every time that you've asked the question, well, nobody wanted to know. Give you a taste of what you've been missing. That's the least you deserve. After all the time you've been wasting on people who left you hurt. I know your worth, I'll show it to you. Wipe away your insecurities. You're a 10 out of 10. If only you could see what I see. Your pleasures and pains will be a thing of the past. There'll be no more pretending. You could take off your mask. You'd be the belle of the ball. You could conquer it all. I know your world, I'll show it to you. Wipe away your insecurities. Now I'm not like the ones before me. I'll treat you right and give you all you need. I know your world, I'll show it to you. Wipe away your insecurities. Now I'm not like the ones before me. I'll treat you right and give you all you need. You're a 10 out of 10. If only you could see what I see.
It's the Breaks Music Show. Jack Cattell, he's our guest today. We've heard some good stuff from him. And before we get out of here, Jack, first of all, thank you for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule. And I know some of the listeners, viewers out there, they want to know, how can they find you on social media? Where can they listen to more of your music and all that? Can you tell us?
So Instagram and Twitter are the main ones that we use. Jack Cattell Music on Instagram, J Cattell Music on Twitter. But if you are on Facebook, Jack Cattell Music, and also now TikTok is taking over the world, isn't it? So we're also on TikTok. You can find us anywhere and everywhere. Just type in Jack Cattell Music. I'm sure you'll find it.
All right, Jack, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you again.
Oh, for sure. Thank you very much for having me.
It's the Breaks Music Show, and we have more coming up for you here in just a bit. It's the Breaks Music Show. I'm your host, Ed Steele, and today we are speaking with Ben Rose from Eclectic Soup. He's joining us all the way from Scotland. Hello, Ben. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Ed. Thanks very much for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to chatting to you about my music.
And we were chatting before the interview here. You've had a long career in music. I think you said somewhere around 40 years. Can you give us some highlights? You listed Todd Rundgren, Steely Dan, George Duke, Stevie Wonder, and Earth, Wind, and Fire as some of your influences. Can you...
Well, yeah, so when I started out in the 70s, I was playing covers, with the usual 70s ones like Bad Company, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, that sort of thing. And then my tastes kind of slightly changed over the years, and I discovered the likes of Todd Rundgren and Steely Dan and George Duke. So I guess that was maybe the start of my eclectic tastes in music, But I started off playing rock covers of that.
Now, how old were you when you really got interested in music?
Probably about 7 or 8. My mum used to take me to see the old Beatles movies, like Hard Day's Night and Help. And that was probably my starting point. So kind of continued until I took some guitar lessons at 11, just for a year. Then a few years later, I resumed again and kind of got into bands with friends to begin with, and then moved a bit further on to other types of bands.
It's Ben Rose with Eclectic Soup on the Breaks Music Show. All right, the first song we're going to play here is Follow the Money. All right, can you set that song up for us?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's kind of a protest song against corporate greed, you could say, and just my feelings on that subject. So kind of give it a rocky feel to it, so it's got a bit of aggression to it. So hope you'll enjoy it.
It's Eclectic Soup. Ben Rose joining us today from Scotland, and here is that song, Follow the Money, on the Breaks Music Show. It's the Breaks Music Show. We are joined in studio today by Ben Rose from Eclectic Soup. All right, Ben, we were talking a little while ago about, well, one of your songs, Follow the Money. We got a couple of more we're going to get to here in a couple of minutes. All right, my next question for you. How would you describe the music that you typically create, and how has it evolved over the years?
Well, obviously, in the name Eclectic Soup, that's really where I got that from. I've always been interested in different styles of music over the years, and played in different styles of bands and recorded different styles of music. I had a partnership way back in the 80s, I think it was, when we wrote a lot of jingles for radio and TV, as well as some themes as well. So I kind of cut my teeth writing and producing and recording different styles of music. So that was kind of like the start of it. And I still continued playing in bands after that, but it's more recently when I started recording under the name of Eclectic Soup, as well as other situations.
So your creative process, how does that work? Do you write the song, then you go to the studio? Do you go to the studio and then write the song? How does that process work for Ben Rose of Eclectic Soup?
Well, nowadays, I mean, in the past, it was, a lot of studios. You would do the typical thing in the older days when you would hire a studio, or you might be able to do a little demo on a Porta studio, which was the old-fashioned cassette-type recorders, and then maybe progress to, bigger tape machines. But now that technology has become much more affordable, I'm basically recording at home here on my Apple iMac using Logic software. And it's just amazing what you can do nowadays. So the ideas that have been in here for many, many years are now able to come out. So I'm finding it a lot easier, and I'm a lot more prolific as a result. But I do enjoy jumping genres, I must admit. I really enjoy doing that, and the challenge that brings.
It's Ben Rose of the Eclectic Soup. All right, you've opened for the bands like Bryan Adams and Paul Carrick and others. Can you tell us, what was that like opening for those guys?
Wow, it was amazing. It was a real adrenaline rush, I actually wasn't too scared in those situations. I mean, Bryan Adams was maybe 7,000 or 8,000 people that we played to support. But I actually find the smaller gigs used to be more intimidating, But the big gigs, it was just kind of like, wow, we're here, we're playing on a huge stage to so many thousand people and supporting a great act, So yeah, it was a total rush. It was really enjoyable. Loved it.
Now, you also signed a deal recently. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, there was a couple actually. There was Do It Records, which is based in New Zealand, and they have an office in LA as well, I believe. So they've been promoting artists of different genres over the years, and the reason I discovered Do It Records was through a publication called Bandit Newsletter. And it's an international one, I think. It may be based in the UK, but I think it's available all over. And certainly for anyone who wants to, get their music heard, whether it's a band or a songwriter themselves, I would definitely recommend, trying that because lots of agents and producers and A&R people, look for artists and their music. So that's basically how I went about it. I sent the music to various people, including Do It Records, and a guy called Donny Osborne, who's Donny Productions. He also managed to get me some publishing arrangements with a company called Master Recordings in Nashville. So I kind of have two different things going on there as well. So, but it was mainly through that Bandit newsletter. So I would urge anyone who wants to get their music heard to consider that. I mean, they're online, obviously, just under Bandit newsletter.
Eclectic Soup, and we're going to do another song right now. This is All the Things You Love on the Breaks Music Show.
A glass of Moet things you love, all the things you love. A world gone crazy, getting more insane each day. Our lives, they are changing in almost every single way. It doesn't matter, even if you don't believe. We're all a part of this tangled web we weave. Oh, just be thankful for all the things you love. Just be thankful for all the things you love. Just remember all the good things in your life. Love your children, love your husband or your wife. It doesn't matter, even if you don't believe. We're all a part of the tangled web we weave. Oh, just be thankful for all the things you love. Just be thankful for all the things you love. 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 All the things you love.
It's the Breaks Music Show. Joining me in studio today, Ben Rose of Eclectic Soup, and more stuff from him in mere moments right here on the Breaks Music Show. It's the Breaks Music Show. I'm your host, Ed Steele, joined in studio today by Ben Rose of Eclectic Soup. Great interviews so far. All right, Ben, more questions for you here. What would you be doing right now if you weren't in your music career?
That's a good question. I really don't know because music's kind of my life. I did work in a bank once, but that didn't last long. I really don't know. It has to be music all the way for me.
Understandable. Music is in your blood. I get it. All right. With all the years in the music industry, how do you feel the internet has impacted the music business?
I think it's been good in some ways and not so good in other ways. I guess it's good because independent artists can reach a big audience, but it's obviously a lot more competition for people as well. So, a lot more people can get their music out there. So it's kind of like a double-edged thing, you could say. But I think definitely it's a good thing because, to be able to send people music or videos and do your own thing and promote your own music, I think that's a brilliant thing. So, yeah, I think the good outweighs the bad, I would say.
Yeah, I can see it's a double-edged sword, but yeah, I think the good outweighs the bad. All right. You've been in the business for quite a while. What advice do you have for bands who are trying to break into the music industry?
Well, I think just try every avenue possible. Obviously, the social media thing is one way to add to your audience, and, we don't know what the situation is going to be with the live side. So I would encourage people to be as creative and record as much as possible until things hopefully get back to some sort of normality and gigs can go forward, So, yeah, social media and get your music out there to as many people as possible and, I'm I'm not on commission, but I would definitely recommend Bandit.
It's the Breaks Music Show. We're speaking with Ben Rose of Eclectic Soup, and here is that song Rabbit Hole on the Breaks Music Show. It's the Breaks Music Show, and we want to thank Ben Rose from Eclectic Soup for stopping by today. A very good interview. And Ben, before we leave, how can we get a hold of you, and how can people check out your videos and all that kind of good stuff?
Sure. Well, I have a YouTube channel for Eclectic Soup, and if you just put in Eclectic Soup, you should find that, no problem. And also one for Ben Rose Music, which is some other projects out with Eclectic Soup, just basically songwriting. Some are co-writes with other writers as well, some from the States and some from the UK. And my website for Eclectic Soup is www.eclecticsoup.co.uk. And of course, you can find both those things on Facebook as well. Do It Records. And Ben Rose Music. Sorry, Eclectic Soup and Ben Rose Music.
Awesome. Sounds good, Ben. Thank you very much. We wish you the best of luck. And more coming up on the Breaks Music Show in a couple of minutes. It's the Breaks Music Show. I'm your host, Ed Steele. Tonight we're joined in the studio by Anna Volpe. She's joining us from New York. Welcome to the show, Anna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Anna, I got to ask you this.
Yes.
What is Anna Volpe all about? You are a very interesting person. Can you tell us more?
Sure. All about the music, all about singing. You know, I've been singing since I was a little girl and grew up, you know, around music, all sorts of music. And, you know, originally going into college, I was didn't want to go into music and was very much trying to remove myself from any sort of singing, anything like that. But got drawn in, of course, in a cappella and voice lessons and everything. And then started to release my own music in 2017 after doing a lot of background, you know, vocals and singing in the studio and on tour with different bands. But wanted to, you know, start releasing my own music and all that stuff. And haven't turned back and, you know, loving every minute of it. It's hard, but it's exciting. And, you know, just get to, you know, do this job every day. It's fun.
Anna Volpe in studio tonight. All right. Now, what are the challenges of being a woman in the genre of music that you're creating right now?
I would say, you know, my genre, I would say, is very much like multi-genre. It's pop, it's singer-songwriter, it's folk. I think in the industry in general, being a woman it can be challenging at times. I think also as a producer, I'm starting to produce my own music and I'm starting to compose music in films and in you know, mixed media. That's, you know, very small percentage is women. It's like 2% or 3% or something very small. And so I think, you know, I try to work consistently with other female artists or songwriters or producers. And it's an effort. It's a conscious effort to work with other females. So, you know, I think people are, especially this last year, you know, being at home more, there are more and more people, women, learning to create their own music from start to finish and all of that. But it's, you know, it's a growing process for sure.
It's Anna Volpe on the Breaks Music Show. All right, your first song we're going to do here is The Way We Are. Can you tell us more about that song?
Yes. So I wrote it in 2018 with a good friend, Thomas Dove, who lives in Nashville. I recorded a 5-song EP in Nashville, and so that's one of the songs on there. And it's about, you know, being who you are and being unapologetic about being, you know, who you are. And we had a lot of fun writing it together. We wrote it actually the first day we met in person. You know, we wrote 2 songs that day. And so it was just a fun time in the studio. And I was, you know, very much experimenting with synths and different instruments. And it's a very, you know, anthem type of song. So it's been out for a couple of years now, which is crazy to think. And you know, it was actually featured in a film also in, I think last year, was it, or 2 years ago? So that's exciting for other people to use it in, you know, different ways and different, you know, media. I think it was in a short film.
It's Anna Volpe on the Breaks Music Show and her song, The Way We Are.
See the other side, the water.
It's the Breaks Music Show with Ed Steele. Thank you for joining us tonight. Anna Volpe joining us in studio. All right, we've been talking to her, a couple of more songs to get to, but before we do that, let's do this. So, Anna, you are a classically trained vocalist. Who are your biggest influences in the classical field?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. Cecilia Bartoli is a beautiful singer, Italian singer. I was very much inspired by her. She's also a mezzo-soprano, so similar voice, lower, deeper voice. So I always gravitated towards those types of singers, obviously, since I have a similar voice. I would say Renee Fleming is a big influence, especially since, she's the type of singer who is now doing all sorts of genres outside of the classical world, which I have to commend her on, because I think it's wonderful to kind of broaden your palette and your horizon and all that. And I would say, he's a male singer, but Luciano Pavarotti, who's like the god of opera, and he's actually a family friend, or was a family friend because he's no longer with us, but he's, one of the best people in the world, or was one of the best people in the world. So I would say he's a big influence, and, he's a wonderful guy. So I would say those top three people in the classical world.
Anna Volpe on the Breaks Music Show. All right. You've also worked as a backup singer. How's that prompted you to establish a solo career?
I would say, singing, I thoroughly enjoy, and I still enjoy singing other people's music. But it came to a point after a couple years where I realized I love singing other people's lyrics and melodies and all that, but I wanted to start singing my own melodies and own words and own stories. And I, was starting to write my own music and getting inspired by other, bands and artists that I was working with. But just never really had the opportunity to start singing them. And so that was kind of when I took that shifted towards, working on my own music and less, being in the studio for other people, and started, being in the studio for me and my music. But I still love performing with other bands and other artists, and, being able to sing for them is still a great joy. But thankfully I'm able to do both. So it's the best of both worlds for sure.
Anna Volpe on the Breaks Music Show. All right. You're writing music for film and TV. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So I started this different path, I would say in 2019. And I'm currently signed with a licensing and publishing company based in LA called Think Music. And they're wonderful people. And I signed with them at the end of last year. So still relatively, new with them. And they, ultimately help me place music in TV and film and all that kind of those opportunities. And it's a lot of fun. I get to write specifically for briefs, but then also kind of write music that is still my own music, but kind of has a syncable, licensable aspect to it. It could be, tricky at times, but also very rewarding. And I get to work with so many different artists and songwriters all throughout the world, who are signed with the company that I'm signed with, and also from other different companies, which is, the biggest turn on to working with them, I would think. And so now I'm working with a couple people in obviously LA and in Nashville and also New Zealand, and in Europe. So it's exciting for sure. And it makes every day different.
Anna Volpe on the Breaks Music Show with her song, Call My Name.
Places in your dreams. So when you're ready,
It's the Breaks Music Show with Ed Steele. Anna Volpe in studio tonight. Heard a couple of songs of her, and you know it. We've got another song and more interview coming up for you in mere moments. It's the Breaks Music Show. Anna Volpe in studio tonight. We've been chatting. We have a little more chatting to do and one more song. But before we do that, all right, we understand that you're diving into the world of self-producing and film composition. What is that all about?
Oh, gosh. It is challenging, to say the least. I mean, being at home predominantly in the last year, had more time, sitting in front of my computer. And I thought, I should just start producing my own music. And that's something that I always wanted to do, because whenever I write and create music, I usually always have an idea of what it sounds like instrumentally or arrangement wise and all that. And sometimes it's hard for me to put it on, say it to another person or to put it in words and that kind of thing. It's sometimes just in my brain and I can't get it out. So I thought, the best way to combat this is to start, producing my own music. And it's a slow process for sure. And it's exciting though. And there's so many different things to learn, and what's so great about music is that there's always new technology and new plugins and all that kind of stuff. So it's a slow process, but I'm starting to produce for other artists and songwriters, which I'm excited about. And in terms of the film aspect, starting to create more compositions, and I've always loved orchestral music, and that's something that I hope to continue in my career. And that's also a slow process and journey, but it's exciting, and I'm thankful that I have the time to do more of it, and we'll see where it takes me, I guess.
We also learned that you have an alter ego project. What's this called, and what's this consist of?
So the project is called Annie Fox, Fox with 2 X's. And it's inspired by, so Annie is obviously not my name, but a couple friends from high school call me Annie, and they have for years, which is so funny because Anna and Annie, you don't really think go together, but they do for me, I guess. And so I've been called that. And so I kind of respond to it nowadays. And Fox, so Volpe, my last name, means fox in Italian. So I combine them, or my friend suggested I should combine the names. And so Annie Fox is the name of the project. It's different from my usual music, more alternative, still in the pop genre, but a little more edgier and a little more swag, I like to call it. And, very much music to walk and run to, and which I always love. I'm a big athletic person, or maybe not now because can't really go to a gym these days. But, I've always loved music to run to and play sports, listening to that kind of music. So that's what Annie Fox is all about.
It's the Breaks Music Show. Anna Volpe, here's her song, Anybody Out There.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Radio silence, so terrifying, I didn't tease silence. Is there anybody out there? Do you know the mess you made? It all went up in smoke. The sky is a red tonight. I'm a reckless tonight. Does it show? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Radio silence, so terrifying, I didn't decide this. My prayer tonight is for rain tonight, to let it go, 'cause you let me go. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Radio silence so terrifying, I didn't decide this. Is there anybody out there? I extend my hand, I'll write it in the sand. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Radio silence so terrifying, I didn't decide this. Radio silence so terrifying, I didn't decide this. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Radio silence so terrifying, I didn't decide this. Is there anybody out there? I just want you right there.
It's the Breaks Music Show. Anna Volpe in studio tonight. And before she gets out of here, we're going to ask her where she can be found, if she's got any merchandise, where we can watch her videos and all that. Anna, tell us more.
Yes. So my website, annavolpe.com, ANNAVOLPE.com. Sometimes I have to spell it out because, spelling, you think it's one thing, but it's not. So there it has all my music. It has merchandise. I have t-shirts and stickers and little pins. So that's all fun stuff. And all my, as I said, music. I have a music video for one of my songs and my bio, obviously. And in regards to social media, it's Anna Volpe Music for all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much everything. Anna Volpe on Spotify, on iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, wherever you have music, it's there. And my new project, Annie Fox, which I'm going to plug that because I have a song coming out in May. It's Annie Fox Music, also for social media. Annie doesn't have a website, but I'm sure she will eventually. And yeah, that's everything, I think.
All right, Anna, thank you very much for stopping by tonight. More coming up for you on the Breaks Music Show. It's the Breaks Music Show. Whitney Ty, Alex Ohm, Emerald Beach. All coming your way on the next episode of the Breaks Music Show.